It turns out that in the Fluent solver, you cannot click on a boundary and give the associated boundary condition. What you have to do is you have to label the boundary in the measure, and then in the Fluent solver, you have to use that label to give the boundary condition. It's a little less convenient than being able to click on the boundary and give the boundary conditions, but it works. So let's label the boundaries. Select Zoom to Fit. Go into highlight geometry in the tree, and first let's label the inlet. Select the edge selection filter, select the inlet, left click, and then right click and say create name selection, and I will call it inlet. And if I go in here, I see that that name selection appears, and if I highlight it, it shows me what the corresponding boundary is. Similarly, give a name selection for the outlet. Left click, right click, and call that outlet. This I will call pipe wall, pipe underscore wall. And this I will call center line. And I can control click on all the name selections to see the corresponding, what each label, what boundary it corresponds to. It's also a good idea to give a label for the flow domain. This is not necessary, but it's a good idea. To do that, highlight the face selection filter and select the face corresponding to, or the area corresponding to the flow domain. Right click, and in fact what I have to do is, before I do that, I have to highlight name selections, and then if I right click, I'll get the create name selection option, and I'll call this flow underscore domain. So I have my name selections, and I can use these to give boundary conditions later on. If I go back to the project page, I see that I don't have a tick mark. It turns out when you add name selections, you have to go back to the project page, right click on mesh and say update, and then you get the tick mark, and then save the project.